fans lined up after a historic day in Texas Tech softball, an improbable 2-out 7th inning comeback for the Red Raiders.
Ducks on the pond.
And the Raiders comeback is complete. A wild scene on the field and outside Tracy Sellers Field here in Lubbock, as what is in store for a rematch from yesterday's game between Texas Tech and Ole Miss. And do the Rebels have more fight left in them as a trip to the Supers on the line for these teams, as we say hello and welcome you in with the two-time national champion out of Oklahoma, Aaron Miller-Thiessen. I'm Tiffany Green. Well, history was made yesterday in that comeback, but we saw Texas Tech make history last year, making their first ever Women's College World Series appearance. In order to get back Jerry Glasgow feeling like he needs some offense, he got that star power.
I mean, only 3 hits coming into the 7th inning. They were down to their last out. That to me just blows my mind. 1 strike left on the board in an 8-running bottom of the 7th. It's the star power that has to show up. 6 transfers in the starting 9, equaling 88 home runs. They were silenced the majority of that game yesterday. Will we see it here in game 2?
When you look at the numbers and the production and the jumps that you see, all program best this year, this is a loaded squad for the Red Raiders that presents a ton of power at the plate. One of the best scoring teams in the nation at that. On the other side, Ole Miss coming in with a big bat of their own in Maddie George, the freshman.
23 home runs, and this is what's impressive to me. The opposite field power, 18 of those 23 up the middle opposite field, long through the zone, extended through contact. I am excited to see what she's going to do against Caitlin Terry in the circle.
An excellent first season in Oxford for George, the Texas native, National Freshman of the Year, top 10 finalist already with 2 home runs this weekend. They will need her to keep swinging that way if they want to force an if game later today. All right, folks, get juiced up, get ready. We've got Texas Tech, Ole Miss coming your way. Trip to Supers on the line. See first pitch when we come back. And regional final Sunday here from Lubbock. And we'll see the starter in yesterday's game against Texas Tech in Emily Boyer out of Ole Miss, the senior transfer from Division II. Your thoughts on how she bounces back?
She had Texas Tech's number yesterday all the way through the 7th inning up until that very last out. The thing that sticks out to me about that line yesterday for Boyer, she only gave up 3 hits until the bottom of the 7th inning, searching for that last out, and then ended up getting 7 straight hits for that comeback victory for Tech.
And the senior out of Harrisonburg, South Dakota, will face off against Mia Williams, one of those transfers we mentioned coming into this Texas Tech program, providing plenty of power at the top. And Mia Williams strikes out, and that's a good start for Emily Boyer as we take a look at the starting lineup, brought to you by Capital One for the Red Raiders. I mean, up and down this lineup, it's a lot of power, but Lauren Allred deserves the highlight for yesterday's game-tying grand slam back in the 7th inning. The Red Raiders seeing a little shift too in their lineup.
Yeah,
this
about
weekend.
to go there. Mia Williams was in the 5-hole yesterday. She moves up to that leadoff position. Jackie Liss, who's on deck, is in the box, was hitting in the 3-hole yesterday. I mean, there's a lot of changes in the starting 9 here for the Red Raiders.
This unanimous first team all Big 12 selection coming over from Southern Illinois. She was also an all-conference performers with the Salukis, hitting .447 this season to go along with 18 home runs and 61 RBI. Three straight balls, and now a strike in to Liss. The count 3-1. And the walk awarded. This is something that we talked about yesterday. Didn't come back to bite them necessarily with those free passes, but Emily Boyer awarding her first walk after the game after striking out the first batter. And this is an area of concern for Jamie Traxel with this brand new pitching staff.
172 and 2/3 innings for Boyer, 96 walks on the year. Had a season high in that game one against LSU, 11 walks out of the hand of Boyer that game. That was a really honest conversation that we had with Jamie Traxel, head coach for Ole Miss, is that the free passes have to be limited in order for them to go the distance, specifically in postseason.
Good look there at Jamie Traxel, who took this program to the Women's College World Series last year. First time ever. And there's Jazzy Burns, the 2-1 ball opposite field. Base hit goes to the wall. Stand up double. Runners in scoring position with one out for the Red Raiders.
Just so fundamental and athletic about Jazzy Burns' swing. Quick hands to the ball. She throws the barrel so well to contact. The barrel control, the extension. I mean, this is to the deepest part of the field, hitting behind Jackie Liss. She's able to stand at third easily. And a much different Texas Tech team early in this ball game than what we saw yesterday against Ole Miss.
So the pinch runner as Haley Toney comes in for Burns and stands at second. Yeah, it was the Emily Boyer show to start off this game in a rematch of last year's opening round game of the Women's College World Series, a first for Texas Tech as well. Boyer owned the bats through 5 innings for Texas Tech. She had an outstanding outing all the way until that 7th inning. The panel who comes over from an SEC program in Tennessee, hitting .357 this season now in West Texas with the Red Raiders. This Texas Tech team making their 7th regional final appearance. Hosted first time last year, made it on to Supers and then to OKC. The expectations are clear. They want to get back not only to the Women's College World Series, but just a game away from winning a national championship. They've got title on their mind this year. The 2-1. Smacked over Ryan Starr, gloves it. And catching Liss and keeping her from home. The rundown, and Liss is tagged. Great defense and heads up there from Starr to keep a run off the board.
Just one step too many for Jackie Liss at third base. You can she's trying to bait and wait for that throw across the diamond. But Starr coming up and having an immediate reaction to her getting hung up in no man's land between third and home plate. A really nice defensive play for Ole Miss.
And Terry pulls it to the right side, but getting the play in time, the 4-3 put out. And you talk about the great defense. Some of those tough plays and routine plays made look easy by Ole Miss. And Ole Miss, who has had great success with the long ball, knocking it out of the park, scoring more than half their runs via the home run. Percy Yamas has been on a tear in this Lubbock Regional, 6 of 11. She's got a home run to boot along with 4 RBIs. She's due up 3rd in the order, as that is your starting lineup brought to you by Capital One. Caitlin Terry gets the start here, the 23-game winner, just 1 loss for the Red Raiders. She's come in as the next arm in the circle for Texas Tech. She has done an amazing job since entering this program after her time at UCLA. Kennedy Bunker, the senior catcher out of Simi Valley, California. Is homered already this weekend as Ole Miss making their 9th regional final. Caitlin Terry, the junior out of Glendale, Arizona, has had a marvelous season, wonderful addition to the Red Raiders.
This is an Ole Miss team that really hasn't faced a lot of lefty pitchers. 1,300 plus at-bats against righty arms, only 285 at-bats against lefties. So not a lot of reps coming out of that left side, which is what they're going to see against Caitlin Terry.
When you think about the Vic Botons, Jocelyn Briskys from Alabama, Carlin Pickens from Tennessee, you mentioned all coming from
That's it.
The right side.
Flamethrowers from the right side.
Bunker having a competitive at-bat to start it off here. Fouls off another pitch. Just a scrappy squad coming in to Lubbock. This one, it's Bunker, 10th hit by a pitch this weekend for an Ole Miss batter.
Now, this is an Ole Miss team that's had a lot of production. You mentioned the long ball production we've seen this weekend, but 40 hits so far for the Rebels, the most in regional play. This is a squad top to bottom. I mean, we've seen the consistency from 1 all the way through 9. We've seen the pinch hit power, the depth in the dugout that head coach Jamie Traxel has been able to call on at any time.
The trainer just giving a quick check to Kennedy Bunker's wrist hand area. She says she's all good. And ready to go as Mackenzie Pickens steps in. Pickens, who settled in nicely into an Ole Miss team that welcomed her, and she blossomed and then has come on with a solid sophomore campaign. And this one hits Pickens, so back-to-back batters hit Pickens, who has been hit more than anybody in the nation. She leads that category in hit by pitch.
A ball cutting across the plate, up and in, and hits the shoulder of Pickens. And thinking about what happened in the first inning, the first time that these two teams faced each other. It was Nyjah Kennedy in the circle, gave up a leadoff home run and then back-to-back base hits. Not the same outcome for Terry in the circle, but feels like both of these starting arms getting caught a little bit on their heels.
First two base runners aboard for Percy Yamas, taking a couple of good cuts there. Now trailing 0-2 in the count. NCAA All-South Region second team. Again, she has just been great this weekend. And the home plate umpire almost appeared to have maybe called that third strike instead of ball. And Terry Holt stands back in, 1 ball and 2 strike. That's been a conversation that has been mentioned across sites. The tight strike zones we've seen. A lot of similar placement right there, just not getting called, but that's just a part of the game, something you can't control. So as Terry steps back, Yamas awaits. And Percy Yamas loops that one, and a running Logan Holloman snags it in for out number 1.
You know, control issues too with the strike zone is not common for Caitlin Terry. That was her 7th and 8th hit by pitch of the year. Not a lot of walks on the season, 28 walks on the year. She's a strikeout arm, almost 150 Ks in the year.
And this is what Maddie George has done in her debut season in an Ole Miss uniform. Program record in the single season for both home runs, RBI, and total bases. She's added to that home run total this weekend with 2 to bring that total up to 23.
Well, this matchup really is intriguing to me, just with where Terry locates, especially that curveball right there, breaking away from Maddie George. Terry now ahead 0-2, but it breaks into the power alley of Maddie George. 23 home runs on the year, 18 of those coming opposite field and on the outside part of the plate.
And getting the strikeout right there. The big hitter retired by Caitlin Terry for her first K of the day.
Terry not scared at all. Fearless, cutting through the strike zone, goes right into her wheelhouse. And a huge response after 2 hit by pitches to start this inning.
Cassie Reisner now stands in. We talk about the newcomers for Texas Tech. Similar story for Ole Miss. 16 newcomers, 10 of them transfers. Reisner, one of them, as she lines it out to center field. So a couple of base runners left on, but nothing doing for the Rebels. Texas Tech coming up back to return. This is what happened just yesterday. Lauren Allred with the bases jacked, a grand salami to even up the ball game at 8-all in the 7th inning with 2 outs. And I'm telling you, that was the most insane game that I think I've called ever. That comeback was monumental, but she is known for those types of moments. You go back to last year's walk-off that she had against OU to down the 4-time champions in a row to advance to the Champ Series.
That was her only Grand Slam this season. I mean, wow. Talk about the timeliness of that cut to tie up that ball game as clutch as it gets.
Mia Davis, who typically sits in the leadoff position, that's where we've seen her throughout the games this weekend. Now leading it off here in the 2nd from the 6th hole. And you'll look, obviously, Texas Tech, the 11 overall seed, the hosts, but they are the visitors on the scoreboard today.
We typically see Maya Davis in that leadoff position, specifically with the 36 stolen bases. So much speed that we are accustomed to seeing her at the top of this order, but it's Mia Williams who sits in the leadoff spot for the Red Raiders today.
And the chopper back over to Cassie Reisner, and the speed there from Davis has her aboard safely with the leadoff base hit.
Well, she is a leadoff here in the second inning. Pounds this ball into the ground. This is textbook barrel control. Bounce the ball in the dirt, run fast. She's got the speed to do it.
And again, it was Allred who brought in Maya Davis in that game we mentioned against OU last year in the Women's College World Series. She got on base, bottom of the 7th with the single, and then Allred was able to bring her on home. The junior out of Texarkana, Texas. Standing in from the left side. This one flared into no man's land. And how about it now? Red Raiders threatening runners in scoring position. Back-to-back base hits. The double for Lauren Allred.
Take a look at the wheels of Davis. This ball gets down in no man's land, and the bounce off of the turf from Grisham gives the green light to Davis to take another 60 feet. I mean, this has definitely been a playing surface that has mattered. We've seen 3 ground rule doubles this weekend. There's a rubberized turf in the outfield, so a huge bounce. Look at this, the bounce goes past Grisham, and it is all wheels.
Davis is the Golden Shoes Award winner as a freshman. You mentioned one of the best base stealers in the country, and Logan Holloman has an opportunity to drive home some runs. Dozen players on this Texas Tech roster from the Lone Star State. Holloman lines out to third, and the first retired. As we take a look at the NCAA softball regional bracket, the winner of this one will go on to face Florida. Was the first team earlier today to punch their ticket to the super regional round. The 6-seed Gators. An impressive performance this weekend from the All-American Keegan Rock. A couple of complete game outings, including a one-hit performance to move on. So they're waiting, resting, and watching this Lubbock Regional.
I know that's a pitch location right there, low at the knees, that Boyer wants. She struggled to get it consistently yesterday, the first time facing Texas Tech. When you're a drop ball arm and that's not a strike that you're getting called often, makes your job a little bit harder, facing one of the top offenses in the nation.
Catcher Lagi Quiroga is at the plate. We've seen limited action from her, but Jerry Glasgow has 3 different catchers that he can rotate with Quiroga, Valdez, Vic Valdez, and Jazzy Burns. There's a good look there at Jerry Glasgow. Second season here with his Texas Tech program. And he talked about just the way this team came in to this weekend, right? Disappointed after falling to Arizona State in the Big 12 championship. Had to recalibrate and get ready if they wanted to make another deep run in the postseason. And we talked about it at the top of the show, bringing in the offense to help fuel them. Here's Mia Williams on deck. The payoff pitch from Boyer. And gets Quiroga looking. Second strikeout of the day for Emily Boyer. And a big backwards K for the Rebels.
Really nice location, an even mix inside and outside, both sides of the plate. And that down ball spin gets Quiroga caught in the middle.
Neil Williams, one of those players that we've kept our eye on, team leader in doubles, home runs, RBI this season. 22 jacks, hitting above 400. And a chance to tack on some ribbies to her total. And folks, I mean, if you go back to yesterday, everything happened with 2 outs in that 7th inning comeback to extend the game. 12 of 25 for Texas Tech with 2 outs. Their production has been insane. It's crazy. I mean, another 3-ball count here that we've seen from Emily Boyer, her 3rd, and now that one in for strike 1. And the walk to Williams to load the bases. So a single by Maya Davis to lead it off, the double from Lauren Allred, and a walk to Mia Williams. That brings up Jackie Liss.
And the Red Raiders go 0, Jackie Liss.
Liss, who walked in the last inning, sees that off-speed offering in for a strike 1. Big moment early in this game. With bases loaded, Texas Tech looking to jump on Boyer a little bit quicker than they did yesterday. You see the win. Flags in center field just whirling around, and the circle visit from Nancy Evans to try to take a beat.
Well, Jackie Liss has had a grand slam this year. She had one against BYU on April 2nd. 333 hitter with bases juiced.
Just past the bottom of the hour, Aaron Miller, and Tiffany Green here with you from the Lubbock Regional. The number 11 seed Texas Tech Red Raiders, a win here, and they advance to their 2nd ever Super Regional. Meanwhile, Ole Miss trying to force another game today, an elimination game that would come up right after this one. They've already made 3 trips to Supers, seeking their 4th.
Emily Boyer is in the thick of Power Alley right here for Texas Tech. Liss with 18 home runs on deck. Jasmine Burns, 17 home runs. In the hole, Taylor Panel. Then it's Caitlin Terry. I mean, the power just goes on and on. We mentioned the transfer power. They shot the portal. Well, 6 of the starting 9 for Texas Tech today, and 88 home runs between those 6. And to see if maybe there is a pitching change happening in the circle. potentially an equipment issue with Bunker behind the plate.
And just some friendly jeers from the Texas Tech fans during that equipment change. And Kennedy Bunker all set, ready to go. Glove good.
You can hear the stands not happy about the time that's elapsed with this timeout, trying to ice out Jackie Liss.
She steps back in. 2 balls and a strike to Liss, the senior. And now the count even at 2-all. Fouled back. Pitch. Liss gets that one to drop into right field. 2 come across. The RBI single scores 2 for Jackie Liss. And Texas Tech is on the board.
Off-speed pitch, low in the zone, and Jackie Liss shortening contact. She does not overswing here with 2 strikes. Low and away. See, she makes room for that bat path to hit exactly where it's thrown. This is a nice piece of hitting. And hitting behind runners, too. That's high IQ at the plate.
And Aaron, we talked about it yesterday in that historic comeback once again. Another 2 out-hit scoring runs for the Red Raiders. Runners at the corners. Jasmine Burns at the plate.
So we'll see a little bit more off-speed out of the hand of Boyer.
The grounder handled by Ryan Starr over at third. And that ends the inning. 4 hits in this game. Big ones coming up in this inning. A 2-run lead for Texas Tech. Already, let's take a look at the tickets punched with Super Regionals just around the corner coming your way Thursday. Florida the first to do it. Then Georgia, Texas, Alabama, Arkansas, LSU, all making it to the Super Regional round. SEC well represented here. National seeds advancing. We did see Oregon, the first national seed to go down last night, eliminated from the tournament. You just don't know what's going to happen this time of year. It's a win-or-go-home situation where it's survive and advance for Texas Tech. They're up 2-0 over Ole Miss.
Now batting for the Rebels, number 25, Tinley Grisham.
Tinley Grisham at the plate. Grisham, the junior out of Philadelphia, Mississippi. Had more of an elevated role this year and certainly developed at the plate as well, hitting above 300. Foul. We've talked about how this Ole Miss team getting on the right track at the right time to play their best softball for Jamie Traxel. This whole group who embraces that underdog mentality. They've had their gloves up throughout the weekend. The 1-2 pitch, and it just rolls foul. And this is a group of fighters, a resilient bunch, who after that collapse against Texas Tech yesterday came back to win that elimination game against Boston University to get another swing at the Red Raiders as Grisham is able to beat it out. A very close one, and immediately you're seeing players and the coaching staff signaling for a challenge. Coaches are allowed 2 apiece. Let's look at it here again.
This is tough for Caitlin Terry, a lefty that's got to do a 180 to make this throw. Wow. They're gonna review this.
Okay, so I gotta say this. You have to have conclusive evidence to overturn the call, right? To change the call. The ruling on the field always comes into play of being so important.
Wow.
Right there,
that looks
it's
pretty
safe.
conclusive.
It looks conclusive that I think she's safe. I think she's safe. You say what?
Ball's in the glove, it looks like, before that full cleat hits the front of that bag.
Is there enough that you see there, though, Aaron?
That's the million-dollar question.
To change the call.
I do want to just say something. This is a game of inches, and I think that leg out right there from Grisham is why it's important to hit the front edge of the bag. If there's any youth watching this game right now, young softball eyes, the importance of hitting the front of that bag versus the middle of the bag, the back of the bag. Had any other place on that bag been hit by that foot, I think the call on the field would have been out. So you can see the location of contact. The front of the bag gives her the quickest and best advantage to get that call. Really good look from our crew there.
Yeah, and we've seen a couple of bang-bang plays. We are clearly not the experts. We can weigh
We're
in.
50-50.
We're 50-50 on this.
I don't know that there's enough there to overturn it. Really good leg from Grisham to beat out that ball. And I want to mention the lefty Terry in the circle. That's what makes that play tough for her. She's got to do a 360 or a 180 rather to make that throw to first.
Glasgow wins it. He keeps the challenge. If he's unsuccessful, he loses and is down to 1.
After review, the call on the field's been changed. Runners out. Texas Tech has 2 challenges remaining.
Tiff, I still love you.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Hey, look. Another look once more. And what Command Central saw, he said the ball did get in the glove with just enough time.
Got the athleticism of Terry popping off the mound right there to make that throw an absolute dart to first base. It's always nice to see when a pitcher can field their position. Having that 5th infielder on the dirt is so important.
Here's the 3rd baseman, Ryan Starr, showing bunt, 1 ball and 1 strike as she fouls that one off.
That's not always the case. I mean, we've even seen some of that this weekend. Sam Lincoln, pitcher for Texas Tech, struggled a few times this weekend to field her position in the circle.
Starr fouls that one off. Now 1 and 2. Understanding all those components ever so important, and so Terry helping her effort, doing a great job fielding that position. In the circle as she delivers the pitch to Starr, who flies out to right field. So after those 2 hit-by pitches to start the game for Terry, she has retired the last 6 Ole Miss batters. Back here in Lubbock, it's all about softball, right? The fans are all in and ready to see if this Red Raider team can make it to their second ever Super Regional. A win here today allows them to do so, or in this game rather allows them to do so. Ole Miss is trying to force a Game 7. Taylor Panel, who walked it off yesterday. And that big time comeback, leading it off here. 2 balls and no strikes to the third baseman. Popped up. Underneath it is Mackenzie Pickens and lost it in the air. The error on the second baseman, and Panel is standing at second.
This is another one of those bounce balls. This time it's on the dirt. This one getting caught in the sun for Pickens. And the bounce is past Yamas at first. Panel taking an extra 60 feet. And you know what has been lights out defense for Ole Miss all weekend long, specifically behind Boyer. We've seen the bouncing miscue a couple times now.
And I think among those things that has worked so well for Ole Miss is that they have been so stout defensively. The web gems that we have seen throughout their games this weekend. But even when they put together a perfect game up until seemingly that point in the 7th inning, the roar of the Red Raiders overpowered. And I think sometimes the conversation, I mean, take me inside the mental process of a player like Emily Boyer and this team. Are you excited to face off against Texas Tech to kind of try to get them back, or does some of that linger?
It was a tough loss. Talking to Jamie Traxel yesterday in Game 2 about, you know, what was the conversation like after you take that loss to Texas Tech? You got to come around and play another game to fight for your life. And she said, I just wanted to get together with my team. I wanted to hug my team.
As Terry drives this one in, it drops into the outfield, and runners at the corners now for the Red Raiders, who are threatening once more with no outs.
And mostly a heartbreaking loss for Boyer in the circle, who was money through almost 7 full innings, a complete game, and just came down to the last out. You mentioned Texas Tech, the firepower that they had late. It was a matter of time. You heard me say it all game yesterday, a ticking time bomb before they figured out this drop ball arm.
And Maya Davis comes out swinging, the diving grab, and it drops. Taylor Panel coming around to score 3-0 on the RBI single from Maya Davis.
Sun playing a little bit of a role here. 2 fly balls, I think, that should have been caught. Yeah, this is a diving effort. But the speed of Grisham, I mean, this hits the glove in a play that has to be made right in front of your body. Figure 4 slide. As an outfielder, you know, you practice those catches tirelessly.
So, meeting in the infield. Welcome into the Lubbock Regional on this Sunday here at Tracy Sellers Field. Tiffany Green, a long time with the 2-time champion out of Oklahoma, Aaron Miller Thiessen. A 3-0 advantage for the 11-seed host Texas Tech. A win for the Red Raiders would advance them to their second ever Super Regional. Ole Miss is attempting to force a Game 7. 2 runs put up last inning, and here 2 runners aboard for Lauren Allred, who will go down in Texas Tech history as one of the most clutch bats in the postseason. senior who had that game-tying swing with a grand slam yesterday. An epic comeback win for the Red Raiders in 8. And all Red, a part of just that Raider power, the offense that has produced so mightily throughout this season. And the walk awarded from Emily Boyer loads the bases here. And just a reminder to our viewers as we take a look at the NCAA softball regional bracket, the winner of this one will go on to face the Florida Gators down in Gainesville, the first to punch their ticket of many already here today. Some more to go. And the Gators await, currently looking on to see who will move on here from Lubbock. Telopano, who reached on an error, got to second base, the single by Caitlin Terry, and then Davis brought home Pano to make it 3-0. All Red with that walk. Desiree Spearman, the pinch hitter, comes in, and that one gets away. The wild pitch will score, Caitlin Terry. Now 4-0, Texas Tech.
Spearman had that clutch walk with the bases. That one gets away. The speed of Caitlin Terry always continues to impress me. One of those sneaky speeds that you don't really anticipate or plan for.
Terry, who is getting a lot of help, and she is also the arm in the circle. This Texas Tech team averaging 9.5 runs a game. They're pacing the way with 10 in this regional this weekend.
Spearman did have that walk that loaded the bases for All Red yesterday for the game-tying grand slam. It was a controversial pitch, too, on the inner half of the plate.
Was the Conference USA Player of the Year a couple of seasons ago at New Mexico State. The theme for this Texas Tech team this season, the number of transfers that they've brought in, the power that lines this roster, the depth for Jerry Glasgow's team looking to make another run to OKC.
4 walks so far for Boyer.
And there's Jerry Glasgow, brought over to build something special here in Lubbock, and already we've seen that construction project underway. That Women's College World Series appearance last year, a historic run, and then again, areas where they were looking to address this year was offensively, and they saw record numbers, home runs, breaking the record from a couple of years ago, RBI as well, and back-to-back regular season titles in the Big 12, hosting their second ever regional. Once more matching the win total from last season with 54.
You can see the message to Quiroga right here. He said, hey, have fun. Stay on top of the ball and have fun. That's it. Interesting hearing him describe his role in the third base batter's box. He said, I try and just disappear on that side of the field. I want to be out of their way. No gimmicks. Although I love to play call, I love to take risks. I don't want to insert myself in the talent of these young women. And right now he's telling Lagi Quiroga just to have fun.
And we're going to see a pitching change for Ole Miss as Emily Boyer exits the ball game, leaving the bases loaded, and Grayson Jordan Durden, rather, is the pitcher. And the freshman getting her first work in this NCAA tournament. And while she warms up, folks, just a reminder, remember, this Texas Tech team was down to their final strike, final out, and then found a way to turn things around just in the nick of time. Softball history was made yesterday. Since 2000. That means more than a century. We had not seen a comeback from a team that was trailing by 8 or more runs. But from the popular movie back in, what, the 90s, so you're saying there's a chance. When you watch Texas Tech, they are that chance.
They're the one.
One out of 64.
Wow.
640 teams. Wow. It was just crazy. It was wild. Jerry Glasgow, who was used to seeing a lot of teams come back, and throughout his career had never seen anything quite like that, he said, as Grayson Jordan, the freshman, will step in and come on in relief.
6 appearances all year, and the first time we've seen her this postseason. A freshman arm, 2 Ks on the year, not a lot of innings, only 8. What a massive situation she steps into. Bases loaded, no outs.
What a moment for the freshman out of Columbus, Georgia. But a grand opportunity for her, experiencing her first ever NCAA tournament. One bounces across, Bunker trying to keep it at bay. You know, the wheels of Maya Davis are always going to be spinning. They were in motion there. She slides across the tag home. A 5-run lead after the wild pitch.
So much aggressiveness from Texas Tech. We've seen this all season long. In fact, first game of this regional for Texas Tech, they stole 7 bases against Marist. We did not see any in the first outing against Ole Miss, frankly, because they just didn't have a lot of opportunities to steal any bases.
7th best in the country in that category, with 126 stolen bases entering today's game. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes to Lagi Quiroga. Well outside, count draws full.
That's what makes, in my opinion, Texas Tech so scary, is the power that they have, the home run power, and then the speed. 6 of their starting 9 over 11 stolen bases. Williams with 20, Davis with 36, Haley Toney with 18, Taylor Panel 14. I mean, some of these speed numbers are eye-popping. And then you pair that with the long ball power. It's like, how do you defend? How do you pitch to this offense?
And with 2 Player of the Year finalists, arms in the circle as Quiroga gets underneath it, and tracking it and finding it in the sun is Ryan Starr for out number 1. We talked about Maya Williams. Well, Maya Williams, she is a part of that 2020 club, the first Red Raider to notch in the books with 20+ home runs and 20+ stolen bases in a season. Ripped on the first pitch, scores a run, RBI single for Maya Williams.
This is at least a ball off the plate, up and out. And Williams, so much barrel whip, gets out and around this ball. A little bit early, but it doesn't matter. When you hit and swing as hard as Williams does, this is gonna find its way to the green. One hop shot to Grisham and an RBI on the board.
Williams taking off again, another stolen base for Maya Williams now with 21 on the season.
Funny story we got from Glasgow about stealing and Williams. He said there was one time I gave her the steal sign and she didn't go. My eyes about popped out of my head. I had asked her when we got back in the dugout, like, hey, did you see the steal sign? And she very honestly answered, yeah, I didn't think I was gonna make it, so I just didn't go. That's the relationship that those two have. Coach Glasgow said, I think if I was earlier in my coaching career, I probably would have benched her immediately. No question.
So you think this group has softened him up a little bit?
A little bit, maybe. I don't know. In his presser last night, he said, I don't know that a lot of people understand how tough it is to play for me. I'm a tough coach, but I am a player's coach. I think we definitely got that sense from him in having a chance to sit down coming into this weekend. Very plugged into the individual nature of each player on this team.
And there could be some concern there too with just, again, all these players transferring in from different programs. We talk so much in this new age of college sports about how do you quickly acclimate to programs, and you are concerned about chemistry amongst players. That was something he was honest with us about. He was like, hey, talented, absolutely. How would they all get along? Wasn't quite sure. But when we talked with both Nigeri Kennedy and Caitlin Terry, two of the many stars on this team, said, look, we feel good and we feel free playing under Coach Glasgow. Holloman, or rather Jackie Liss right up the middle. Logan Holloman comes in to score, and so does Maya Williams. And pouring it on here, now an 8-run advantage for Texas Tech.
Liss staying up the middle. This is almost the exact same pitch location that we saw against Maya Williams. Jackie Liss popping this one through the middle of the infield and 2 RBI, and all of a sudden an 8-run lead. My, how the tables turn. Almost a complete flipped coin than what we saw yesterday for Ole Miss, who had the 8-run lead going into the 7th inning.
Well, that was the first ever comeback win for Texas Tech. Meanwhile, this is an Ole Miss team that we saw as of yesterday. You can't count them out either. You never know what is going to happen at this time of year, and a scrappy group is going to continue to give their best with a pitching change for the Rebels. We'll tell you more when we come back. Tickets already punched so far to the Super Regional round, and the latest addition to this list, the Arizona State Sun Devils, Big 12 tournament champions, and they run-ruled the number 15 seeded Texas A&M Aggies.
Wow.
To advance. Oh my.
Wow.
All right. We've just been hit with surprise after surprise so far this weekend. That's the thrill of this time of year. Well, a new pitcher in for Ole Miss is Lily Witten, the junior righty who has had a really good weekend. She's come in different spots throughout. He's had a solid pitching performance. A runner on base over at first. That's Jackie Liss after that RBI single. And the first batter she faces is Jazzy Burns.
Saw all three arms yesterday against Texas Tech. Millie Boyer, Kyra Aycock, and then Lily Witten.
No innings pitched returning to this team this season. A brand new pitching staff for Jamie Traxel. Witten did not play, a mid-year transfer, came over last year from Missouri. And now the 3-1 count to the All-American Jazzy Burns. It's that one, chops it through the 5-6 hole on the left side. And another base hit for Jazzy Burns, now 2 of 3 in this game. Jazzy Burns, who has been hot this weekend, got 7 hits throughout her games, 7 of 10. As Taylor Pano back at the plate. Two balls and a strike to Taylor Pano. That one lined into left, and now that loads the bases with the Taylor Pano single.
Well, they batted around. Taylor Pano led off this inning, had that E4 with the wild bounce. And now it's Caitlin Terry.
Now batting number 55.
10 hits on the afternoon with 8 runs, and this is Caitlin Terry, one of the great two-way stars in our sport. Those numbers there, top 10 in terms of average, but also in ERA as well.
Top 10 Player of the Year finalist, along with her teammate Nyjah Kennedy.
I think her addition has just been huge, right? Because you allow less mileage on that arm for Nyjah Kennedy. An All-American National Pitcher of the Year a season ago, and you bring in another phenomenal player who can help her in the circle. 20+ wins on the year for Caitlin Terry. Terry, who we asked, like, what was it like, right? You trade in LA, right, where she played at UCLA, for Lubbock. And she said, quite honestly, you know what, this is more of my style. Arizona native. Love the way that everyone in town just embraces Texas Tech, and specifically Texas Tech softball. That one hit up the middle. An RBI single, adding to her calls for Caitlin Terry.
Well, where do you go right now if you're Ole Miss? 3 changes, 3 arms in the circle, 2 changes rather. This is just right over the middle of the plate. All smiles out of the box. She knew she got a hold of it.
Maya Davis lifts this one into left into foul territory, and Grisham has it. Another run coming on the cross as 2 RBI this inning for Maya Davis. And we wondered how much dynamite the Red Raiders had left in their bats. They've answered that thus far with plenty. We're in all red. She's just gotten back into such a nice rhythm late in the season. I love it when she turns it on this time of year. We go back to the 13 of 27 and 13 RBI this weekend with 2 outs. This one put on the ground and the tag made on the bag, but not before an 8th spot was hung here in the top of the 4th. We move to the bottom when we return. Back here in Lubbock, and a 8-run top of the 3rd for the 11 seed Texas Tech Red Raiders to put them out on top. As Ole Miss will come up to bat, and again, a total turnaround in what we saw to start the game against the Rebels yesterday in that winner's bracket game. Right now, Texas Tech enjoying a 10-run lead. They win this game, they will advance to the Super Regionals down in Gainesville. By the end of today, we'll see 16 tickets punched to the Super Regional round. Here is a look at who's already made it in. And another surprise coming out of Tallahassee as UCF knocks off Florida State. Terry once again doing an amazing job, just going up, high pointing that ball, and the put out to first. So credit Cindy Ball Malone and her team for advancing to the Super Regional round. Woo!
Here we are.
Here we are.
Buckle up, folks. We're just getting started. So 3 national seeds have already been knocked out of their own regionals. I'm already chomping at the bits to see what's going to happen Super Regional round. Winner of this site faces Florida in Gainesville.
Again, a lot of stars we'll see on display as this tournament continues. You've got the #1 arm for the AUSL in their draft this season, Carlin Pickens. She and the Tennessee Lady Vols advancing on. As that one sent into center field. Kennedy Bunker gets a hold of that one and knocked off the camera. Our cameraman had to move a little slide to the left. A solo shot for Kennedy Bunker. Her second home run of the regional.
You mentioned the second shot from Bunker on the left side. This is lefty-lefty matchup, and Terry hangs this over the middle of the strike zone, deepest part of the field. And you can see Terry call her own bluff there. My bad. I missed my spot. That was hung right over the strike zone.
Correction, that's Bunker's third home run of this regional. Terry, who had previously retired 7 straight before giving up that solo blast, now faces off against Mackenzie Pickens.
When you remember, Bunker got hit by that pitch back in the first inning. Terry started this game with 2 hit by pitches. Pickens is sophomore, so locked in. I mean, this is a young woman that how she does one thing is how she does everything. Weight room, nutrition, training, how she practices, her prep. She's so locked in. I remember last season, Jamie Traxel telling me that at times she'll take the team out for ice cream after games, and Pickens won't partake. Locked in on the diet, no ice cream for Pickens. She's stronger than I.
Great will. So if she would have gone to the dotting cone.
Yeah, where did we go?
Yeah,
the rolling cone.
The rolling cone.
Tiffany and I's had some good ice cream here in Lubbock.
You need it for how hot it is outside.
I agree.
We've been in the 90s.
100 degrees up here at times.
Pickens is aboard once again safely, this time via the wall. We'll get a chance to talk with Jamie Traxel coming up after the break.
Number 3, Percy Youngis.
In the third batter for the Rebels that's been hit by the pitch from Terry. And Yamas goes to first. So a couple of free passes after the solo home run. And Ole Miss with 2 base runners now.
And a reminder, Caitlin Terry only had 6 hit by pitches coming into today. She's already had 3 in this game here against Ole Miss.
Taking her time just to walk it off. And stands at first. So now 2 aboard, 1 out for Maddie George, their big home run hitter. And she has enjoyed her return to her home state. "13 home runs in the last 17 games. Big cut there. Ball on the strike.
The only strikeout that Caitlin Terry has today so far is against Maddie George.
Again, you think about the home run record, single season best for Ole Miss with 23, surpassing Lexi Brady, who did it a season ago. He was integral in that run offensively for the Rebels to go to OKC. But Maddie George has put everyone on notice this season. And she will be a force to be reckoned with throughout her softball career. But there, it's Terry who wins the battle. Second strikeout of the day for Terry, and both downing Maddie George.
Maddie George leads this team in home runs, but also leads this team in strikeouts. She takes hacks early and often, not afraid to put the barrel in motion, and Caitlin Terry winning that battle between the freshmen.
Well, Cassie Reisner, we have seen it and you have said it all weekend long, Aaron, just about the way the ball comes off the bat when Cassie Reisner is swinging it.
Line shot after line shot. She had one down the left field line that was reviewed fair or foul. It fell in her favor. It was a stand-up double.
And another one, this one into the gap, and it goes to the warning track, and driving home another run are the Rebels. It's now 10-2 as Cassie Reisner with that RBI gap double.
Reisner seeing this curveball on the outer side of the plate, hits it exactly where she should. She's not early, she's patient through contact in that right field gap. Hitting behind runners too is what allows an RBI to cross the plate. And 2 runs now on the board for the Rebs.
First pitch swinging for Leilana Applin, and that ends the inning. Couple of runners left aboard. The 2 hits this inning, producing 2 runs for the Rebels. And Ole Miss able to pick up a couple of runs last inning. Their head coach, Jamie Traxel, joining us now. And coach, after a long and emotional Saturday, what was the message to your team coming into today?
You know, we earned today. There's a lot of teams that would love to be in this position. It's playoffs, anything can happen. And you know, obviously they've come out swinging, and we tried to make a couple pitching changes to keep them off balance. But I'm proud of the fight that we've had. I was proud of how we played yesterday, and you know, we're still in this game, and got Kyra on the mound and see what she can do.
Yeah, 3rd change in the circle, coach. Can you just describe what the ask is to these arms to fight for the next 4 innings?
Attack the zone, you know, limit free passes, and then our defense got to make plays. I thought there was 2 plays that we didn't make. You got to defend inside 60 feet and field everything in the air. And you know, Emily gave us a couple of outs, and we didn't make them, and that's part of it too. But we got to make sure we're communicating, engaged in the game, help our pitchers out, and let them attack the zone and make plays when we can make them.
Appreciate the time as always, coach.
Thank you, guys. Hotty toddy.
Well, she's had that defensive support for the majority of this weekend, so I think that's the right call out. There's been some defensive miscues here today behind the 4 arms that we've seen. It's Kyra Aycock, the senior transfer from Oklahoma State, that steps into the circle. We saw her throw yesterday too as well.
And when we talked to coach yesterday, she really liked the way that Kyra Aycock responded. Not having her best stuff early this weekend, but in that game against Boston University, in an elimination game, she entered in with bases loaded and was able to get out of the jam. So Aycock, who throws ball 1 to Logan Holloman. Holloman searching for her first hit of the afternoon. She's one of 2 Red Raiders to not have a hit here in this game, as the bats have been swinging for Texas Tech. You spoke on this before. Emily Boyer, who was standing yesterday through 6 innings, that did not allow a run. She didn't allow a hit until that 5th inning. But the last 5 for Texas Tech against this Ole Miss team, they've produced 20. So the walk to Logan Holloman, the leadoff, top 4. 9-hole hitter, Lagi Quiroga. Sees ball 1. We asked Jerry Glasgow about just bringing in, a couple of catchers. Quiroga, all Pac-12 selection. Jazzy Burns, as we mentioned, stud over at Ohio State. It was Vic Valdez who had to have some off-season surgery. So they just wanted some additional backup. And again, we talk so much about the offensive prowess of this team, but also really good catchers behind the plate as back-to-back walks given up by Aycock. 2 aboard, no on. There's a look there. That's Big Valdez jamming. She saw some action earlier this weekend. And we've talked about Mia Williams here, the bouncer over to shortstop, and she's retired. But the idea that she could potentially face off against her former team in the Florida Gators next week.
Jackie Liz, a 2-for-2 day, a walk back in the first inning. She had the 2 RBI single back in the 3rd. Southern Illinois transfer coming over from SIU, and I had asked Coach Glasgow, how did you find Jackie Liss? Well, she had played travel ball with Nyjah Kennedy at Connection, so fellow teammate there, but also Tara Archibald playing at SIU. So Coach had a couple different connections through his daughter, Tara, as well as Nyjah having known her through travel ball, and so he had no problem finding this talent, seeking her out. Boy, she's been a phenomenal fit as a senior.
She made noise while she was with the Salukis, left there as the career record holder for Southern Illinois home runs with 44. His RBI ground out adds to her day. And continuing to log now 5 runs batted in for Jackie Liss. Burns turns away from that one, called strike 1. We got a chance to watch this young woman last year in Knoxville in the regional with Ohio State, as that one skies in the left field, and that ends the inning. But the Red Raiders tack on a run of insurance, as we'll talk to Jerry Glasgow when we come back. Back here at the Lubbock Regional with the 11th seed at Texas Tech, 1 win away from moving on to the Super Regionals. Head coach Jerry Glasgow for the Red Raiders joining us now, and coach, hosting the 2nd ever regional. The atmosphere is great, and you've given fans so much to cheer about from yesterday to today. Speak to just what this means to the softball community and the Texas Tech fans.
We've got tremendous fans, as you've seen all week, and we tested them a little bit yesterday, didn't we? And but they responded. I think some of them went to tailgate and then came back. I think some got in their cars and were listening on the radio and turned around and come back, because I had a couple tell me that. But it's been really fun, and it's just evolved from a town that knew very little about softball and to a rabid softball community, and it's fantastic. And we're just lucky we're living the dream every day here.
Coach, you're the hitting guru. We've seen a little bit maybe earlier production than what we saw yesterday. What was the direct message to this team coming into this final?
Be aggressive in the 7th inning and last night. In last night's game in the 7th inning, we just went up there and we swung. We were fighting to breathe, and we were fighting to survive. And And you need to be in that mindset every day. We're in the postseason, so let's fight and let's swing it. The first good pitch, let's hit it. And make it harder for them to get that ball in the strike zone without thinking really carefully about it. And I think we were so tentative. We took a lot of strikes right down the middle of the plate all day yesterday, and that lets the pitcher get too comfortable. You've got to make them pay a price if they come in the zone.
Thanks, Coach. We appreciate your insights as always.
Thank you.
Well, they've been hitting them well for certain, but you know what? You think about just a couple of years ago, this was a different Texas Tech softball program. They go after Jerry Glasgow, a successful coach in both the college ranks and the pro ranks. He's brought in to build a program here in Lubbock, Texas. And the investment that we have seen from Texas Tech alumni to ensure that this is a national contender. So quickly that happened for the Red Raiders. First year Glasgow's here. They bring in Nigeri Kennedy, signed a lucrative $1 million name, image, and likeness deal. And this season, they too have added to that, loaded more talent around after being national runners-up a season ago. And a couple of big alumni and boosters to thank for that, and John and Tracy Sellers, name-bearing Tracy Sellers. This is her field. Former Texas Tech softball player in the early 90s, or early 2000s rather. And the 2-2 to Grisham, foul back, but so much of the success was poured into by John and Tracy Sellers. John played football here at Texas Tech. Your Red Raider faithful. And so two former student athletes is helping to provide the resources necessary to put Texas Tech softball on the map. Successful, I'd say.
That's the world that we are in, right? The resources and the support builds the fandom, attracts the talent, and with the help of those two, you saw them in your screen, the Sellers family, as well as the efforts of head coach Jerry Glasgow. I mean, this has been a historical turnaround for Texas Tech.
And when we were talking with Nigeri Kennedy and Coach Glasgow, you know, they mentioned the fact that when Nigeri pitched her first game in a Red Raider uniform, there was like 50 people in the stands. You've got an All-American arm, one of the best pitchers in the country, starting out, and he was like, wait a minute, what's going on?
Where is everyone?
Where is everyone? Oh, but how quickly things change. The pinch hitter, Taylor Roman at the plate for Ole Miss. Out of Missouri City, Texas. She's had success, as many pinch hitters have had throughout this weekend. And Roman caught looking. The backwards K, third for Caitlin Terry in this one.
Well, there is drama on the Ole Miss side. Not happy about this call. You even see the reaction from Roman. And us up here in the booth, too. I was curious if that was on the check swing or the pitch call. So take a look at the check. That is definitely not a strike when it comes to the barrel crossing the strike zone. And that pitch, at least a ball off the plate, minimum.
And look at the umpire issuing a warning here. Another look.
I mean, that is two, maybe
Yeah.
2.5 balls off the plate, well into the river, almost the other side of the batter's box, and Roman's stunned at this pitch call. Unsure if it's on the check swing or the actual strike zone.
See Bobby Buchanan, who
Not
was
happy.
heated and just got tossed as he gave the Blue Crew an earful after that call. And as we've heard different coaches just talk about the consistency or inconsistency of the strike zone. That one well off the plate, looked like a ball, no check swing.
It's a third strikeout for Caitlin Terry.
Taylor Malvin trying to beat it out, but a 1-2-3 inning instead. 3 up, 3 down. 12 pitch inning for Caitlin Terry. Just a reminder, it's Texas Tech who is trying to punch their second ever Super Regional ticket. They would face off against the 6th seed Florida Gators, but Ole Miss down but not out, as this group also trying to keep their season alive, extend it to a Game 7 if possible. But in doing so, Kyra Aycock is going to need a 1-2-3 inning here to give Ole Miss perhaps the last chance. Panel, Terry, and Davis do up this inning for the Red Raiders. Over the head and stopped and stabbed by Reesner, but the infield single for Taylor Panel to lead it off here.
Nice diving effort from Reesner up the middle of this field just to keep it on the dirt. Flash in the range. This is part of that Ole Miss defense that we've seen so strong all weekend.
So Jamie Traxel having a conversation with junior shortstop, or senior rather, center fielder Taylor Malvin. And while we have the opportunity, good time to let you know that ESPN is the home of MLB.TV. Stream every out-of-market game live or on demand using the ESPN app. Blackout and other restrictions do apply. For more information, go to ESPN.com/MLBTV. Sure what the meeting was about with Coach Traxel and the staff.
Potentially an injury or something that's going on with Malvin in center field. Jamie Traxel just making sure she's still good to go, stay on defense.
Caitlin Terry.
Strike in there to Caitlin Terry. Junior lefty awaits the pitch from Aycock. We talked earlier about Florida State going down, one of those national seeds. Bounced in the regional round. And I know Terry's mom might be torn with that one as Terry tries to beat it out, but the diving effort from Yamas to tag first base, and Terry is retired. Mom, Christy, played softball at Florida State, was the ACC Freshman of the Year. back in 1995. And we've heard Caitlin Terry just address the uniform and the fashion back then, the shorts. What do you think?
You know, we wore shorts for a time my freshman season at Oklahoma.
Did you?
Yeah. It was the last year of the shorts in rotation at OU for the Sooners.
Okay. Okay. Did you feel freer
that way? Cooler.
Okay.
But sliding was a totally different ball game. You know, it got a little more strawberry action.
Yeah.
Shorts were a vibe, though.
Yeah.
Okay, the socks. The socks is what's getting me. You got to protect those shins, girlfriend.
I love it. Played for the legendary Joanne Grab back in the day. Will we see a return to that? Maybe, you know, because in basketball, they like to pull up the pants a little bit.
Yeah, like a retro uniform game or something like that.
I like it. A retro game. That has to happen.
We need a petition for that.
No. However, I don't see the younger Terry doing that. Like
Repping in the
Caitlin,
shorts?
I don't think so. I mean, like, she's hardcore.
She is.
She's like, I am her. Okay. Maya Davis, who's had a couple of singles, a couple of RBI, also scored 2 runs. And this one put into play to flip to Aycock, and again with the speed of Maya Davis, it is tough to get her out. 3-hit afternoon for Maya Davis.
Anything more than about 3-4 steps off the mound is just automatic with this speed. 37 stolen bases, such a stud, 60-60.
Look at these numbers, career active leader in D1 and hits, stolen bases, 3rd most in runs, and there she's taken off once again. That's almost a given when Maya Davis is on the base. One of the fastest players that you're gonna see in the game today.
Well, she's quick off the bag, but then she gains speed. I feel like the longer she's in motion.
She's just been a staple player. Played with Coach Glasgow at Louisiana before coming over to Texas Tech a season ago. Lauren Allred goes back to have a conversation as now taking a look at Kennedy Bunker behind the plate. And you can see that she is apparently in some pain. They're checking around that neck area. Brittany Roberts, athletic trainer, who's been busy here in this game.
Second athlete she's had to check on this inning.
And let's take another look at what happened here.
Looks like this bounced under the mask.
Ooh.
Chin, throat area. And those catchers take such a beating. So tough.
You can just see the toughness of a player like Kennedy Bunker, shaking it off and get back into it. I'm telling you, man, this Ole Miss team just so tough, bunch of fighters, the grit, the resilience that we have seen from this group all season and against the odds, right? Nobody expected them to potentially have the run that they did late in the season to get them in greater position in the NCAA tournament. As that one gets passed, doesn't matter, ball 4 to Lauren Allred. And Nigeri Kennedy gets a standing ovation as she comes up to the plate for a pinch hit. how different it was from just a year ago when she played her first game at Texas Tech. Now a stadium full, a two-time first-team All-American, a dominant arm, a star in our game, and the first player in NCAA softball history to sign a $1 million NIL contract. And this investment has paid dividends for the Red Raiders. You see John and Tracy Sellers looking on. Those who helped to get her here, and the senior out of Topeka, Kansas. Has this one roped into left field. One run in, another one comes around to score, and the pinch hit RBI double for Nigeri Kennedy.
She is just the darling, right, of Lubbock, Texas. The standing ovation as she approached the plate. The standing ovation again, barrel to ball. This is a once-in-a-generation type of athlete. And the Red Raiders, lucky that she calls Lubbock home.
On this graduation weekend for Texas Tech, and this senior said, I'd much rather be doing exactly what I'm doing, playing softball, than walking across the stage to earn a degree. But kudos for doing both, as she's used to dominating in the circle, but this afternoon it's been a dominant offensive performance for her Red Raiders. We mentioned Victoria Valdez earlier in this game, one of the catchers for the Red Raiders, and now she's coming in to pinch hit among this senior class for Jerry Glasgow. Valdez, who has been so much out in front of that one. This Texas Tech program, again, when you're welcoming in new people into a space for a season, wondering how all the pieces are going to fit. Valdez was welcoming and has shown herself as a great leader on this team.
One of the three catchers on this team that's seen significant time behind the plate.
Full count now to a player that Jerry Glasgow says is both confident and vibrant. This one turned on and foul. For those of you looking for NWSL, Portland versus Angel City. It's already started. It's over on ESPN News, and we'll get you there at the conclusion of this one. And you heard the Let's Go Vic chants. She's awarded an RBI after the base on ball. Sorry, that loads the bases here. No RBI, so correction by me.
That does load him up, though, for the RBI machine. Mia Williams, 22 home runs on the year. 75 RBI. She is an offensive leader in almost every single category for this team.
Such a drastic turnaround that we have seen after yesterday. Jamie Traxel's team was up 8-0 going into that 7th inning, down to their final strike and their final out. Emily Boyer is back in the game. She pitched a near excellent game, best that you could ask for up until that time, and now she re-enters the ball game.
Mia Williams coming over from Florida, one of 6 transfers in this starting 9. Had a massive career at the University of Florida. 19 home runs last season with the Gators, now 22 this year. And that was a conversation that Jerry Glasgow had with her. He said, look, if you want to come to Texas Tech, I'm going to show you how to hit more home runs. There's a portion of your swing and a portion of the strike zone that you're unable to mash right now, and I'm going to fix that. But take a look at the difference. The graphic on the left, last season, 2025, 19 home runs. You can see the inner half of that plate. No home runs there. Well, 2026, 2 home runs, and you can see right in under the hand, she's able to mash the ball out of this yard in any quadrant of the strike zone. And it's funny, reviewing these graphics with Jerry Glasgow, he said there's even more room for improvement here. Low in the zone, I want to get her to cover that part of the strike zone as well. Never good enough.
Always building, always improving, always an area to tweak. So, junior out of the Orlando area is Mia Williams. This Red Raider team, along with the fans,
we've yet to see a home run yet.
Gonna find a little swag surf field.
A little swag surfing. Not a home run yet in regional play for Mia Williams.
This one on the ground to Williams, and unable to turn the double play. And another run touches home as Lauren Allred with the 14th run put up by the Red Raiders.
Batting for the Red Raiders, 0-0, Jackie Liss.
Two for 3 this afternoon for Jackie Liss. She's had an awesome day, driving in 5 runs. And all it took was that 7th inning from yesterday as bats were quieted by Boyer. And then Texas Tech hasn't loaded since that point. Kennedy standing over at third. Williams at first. Boyer. The pitch. Goes around and gets the K, but what an inning it was, and a moment for Nigeri Kennedy, the All-American, in her final game here at Tracy Sellers Field. Aaron Miller, Thiessen, Tiffany Green back here with you. A trip to the Super Regionals on the line. Nigeri Kennedy helped to lead this team not only into new territory in the Supers round, but all the way to the Women's College World Series and a national runner-up finish. They are 3 outs away from run ruling Ole Miss and going in back-to-back seasons to the Supers.
Kennedy Bunker stepping in, had a home run, a solo shot in the 3rd inning.
And after we saw Nigeria at first base, she'll take the ball. Caitlin Terry, who did a great job. And her afternoon is done. Only allowed 2 hits, 2 runs, one of them coming off the bat of Kennedy Bunker. And now we can pay off Caitlin Terry with our Capital One rewarding performance. The starter in the circle was great this weekend. She's been great in the month of May.
There's so much leadership in the circle. Fields her position well, a two-way player, a stud, obviously at the plate as well. An all-around athlete, plays with a lot of swag, a lot of confidence, fun to watch.
Only given up 6 runs since the start of the month. Got 4 wins hanging in the balance here. Just waiting to see if Nigeria Kennedy can close it out. But this is her line from today. And now Nigeria Kennedy will get a chance to pitch in her final game here at home. These are the numbers that she's put up this season. 8th best in ERA. One of the most feared arms in our sport. The dominating efforts that we have seen just since she stepped on the college scene. She took Stanford to the Women's College World Series in her first 2 seasons, and then did the same here once she put on a Texas Tech Red Raider uniform. She's hopeful that this group can get another crack at OKC.
And I know that she is happy to get another crack at this Ole Miss lineup. Was not her best self yesterday facing the Rebels. Through 5 innings, gave up 7 hits, 5 runs. This was an Ole Miss team that absolutely had a prepared answer for this arm.
Now trailing by a dozen here. Can they do the unthinkable? We saw it yesterday. It's Ole Miss's turn to see if they can turn it around, keep their season going. Bunker, does she go around? No. And the leadoff walk to Kennedy Bunker. So that's a good start for the Rebels.
Holds the barrel back.
Jamie Traxel gonna make a switch at first base. The pinch runner is Cassidy Patterson. One of the 8 seniors on this team. Potentially playing in their last game in an Ole Miss uniform. She's got that opportunity to be on the base pass as Mackenzie Pickens at the plate. Sees strike 1 from Kennedy. That one fouled off. We're now 0-2. Kennedy, a superstar in this game, but one of the most humble that you will come across. Gets Pickens looking. First strikeout for Nigeri Kennedy, and continuing to add to her total on the season, 214 now.
Nice location, low and away. This one just barely clips the outer half. You know, she's spotting a little bit lower in the zone, which I think is a nice adjustment from what we saw yesterday. Both home runs that Kennedy gave up yesterday were on the rise ball. Let her high, hung too sweet, and immediately attacking, especially against a Percy Yamas who has been lights out all weekend long this regional. One of the hottest bats in his starting order for the Rebels.
Yamas, who carries over the production from last year, the RBI leader this year. She had some help in that lineup with Maddie George. Was a big-time producer alongside her. The 1-2 to Percy Yamas. And back-to-back strikeouts here, and Nigeri Kennedy is dealing one away. Again, this is run rule territory. It all comes down to this 1 on, 2 outs for Ole Miss. Remember, if you lead by 8 or more the 5th inning, we saw Texas Tech set a program record for run rules during the regular season. And Rachel Connors, the sophomore, will come in to pinch hit.
She was so good yesterday. Had that pinch hit home run. 3-run shot against Tech. She was the second home run that Nigeri Kennedy gave up yesterday.
This is when things all turned around yesterday, but now the script is flipped. Kennedy, the pitch, and fouled off by Connors. One of the greatest comebacks that we've seen in the sport of softball in a long time. Now Kennedy trying to close it out, and off the glove of Haley Toney at short, and a base hit for Rachel Connors. So once again, coming through and delivering with a base hit. Talked about her success yesterday, and they're yet again extending the season once more for these 8 seniors, with now Cassie Reesner at the plate. Do the Rebels have a late rally in them? Chop her over, tag of the bag, and that does it. Back-to-back super regional appearances now for the Texas Tech Red Raiders as they win it 14-12. Second ever supers for this program, and Nigeri Kennedy was the transformational player to help take them to new heights.
A lot of new pieces on this Texas Tech team. A team that has one goal this year, and that is finding their way back to the Women's College World Series. And Tiffany, they are one step closer. The record-breaking comeback win in Game 2. A run rule victory here in Game 3. And they will be headed to Gainesville.
to take on the 6th seed Florida Gators, who provide their level of star power with Keegan Rothrock, Taylor Shoemaker, Jocelyn Erickson. But it is going to be a battle as the Red Raiders take it in. A lot of momentum going down to Gainesville for our wonderful crew here from the Lubbock Regional. Tiffany Green, Aaron Miller-Teeser, we're signing off and saying, we out.